Quick update over here. I've tidied all the grass up. These two beds are going to be finished with soon. Might get some green manure in. A little bit of weeding to do. I'm now going to harvest these squash and this last one. A lot of things went to seed in here. There is some grass in there that's in the pathway, needs tidying. What I want to do is wait till a little bit later in the year and uncover this and weed that properly. The leeks are looking really good. Courgettes are still producing a little bit. The kale and the chard in there are doing well. Cabbages are doing well. Still pumpkins, as you can see, coming on here. I'll climb over the fence. Excuse any wobbliness. These are Royal Burgundy French beans. Getting a late crop off those. That's the fresh pile of wood chips. I have actually inoculated that with oyster mushrooms. I don't know if it's going to work or not. It's reasonably dry, but obviously we're coming up to the wettest bit of winter now. So fingers crossed, even if we don't get mushrooms, the spores and things will, well, the mycelium will help it all to break down. So that's kind of what's going on there. I'll swing round. That's the big compost heap. I'm yet to use some of that. Over at plot 2 of the allotment, I need to sort out some weeds, get some cardboard down, and I'm going to put some composted manure on that. Swing round. Wood chips, they look really dry, but actually when you get inside, they're basically composted. I'll use them when I need to. I'll leave those for a little bit longer. I've decided not to turn this pile, which is the leaves and grass cuttings and things. Not going to turn that anymore. That's cooled down naturally. It's covered up. That can sit all winter. With the grass and leaves, that'll just make compost for the spring, or even if it's next year, it won't matter. It's the same with this pile of the wood chips. If it takes nearly a year to break down, that's perfect timing. You can see here the edge of the beds need tidying. What I need to do is just work my line along again and tidy that up soon. But that's all winter prep. There's more French beans there, which we are harvesting. A few bits of grass just crept through. I'll just pull those out while I see those. And yeah, these have gone to seed. These are obviously lettuce, but they've gone to seed for a few reasons. Partly the weather, partly because of when I put them in and how I did it, and so on. But everything over here, I'll walk up this way and you can see, got coniferous trees here, which they're shading a little bit of light, but you can see the chard up there compared to down here, and the same with the leeks. The leeks at that end are doing better than this end. I think some of it's possibly acidity in the soil. Could be a few things. Daylight, although summertime, that's not that affected until really late in the day. But the sprouts really haven't done anything. That kale there has really cropped well, so the kale has done well. The French beans that were in that end did well. The squash have done pretty well. Even down that end, as did the, what was it, Monge 2. A small variety. I'm growing a large variety at home as well, but on the whole, most things, I mean, you can see the cabbages there haven't done as well as this end, but French beans do okay, lettuce do okay, the patty pans have done okay, so it's like squash do okay, beans do okay. So I'm going to have to think about the beds a little bit and what I do. Maybe something like a leek bed like this, I'll stop at that point and put beans in this end and just do some rotations that way. But some bits of tidying to do, but a lot of that can be done over winter. I've probably shown before. I'll get that out. Underneath here, there's worms. You can see that this is compost. These wood chips on the top are just dry. When they're wet, all this is going to need really this winter is a quick rake around, check everything when it's all out, and a little bit more bed prep. Clean the paths up. There's a path here onto the beds and so on, really just minor tidying, and I think next year everything's going to be far more prolific than this year, because obviously they were newly formed beds. So all good over here really.